Alright, Devlog for September 2024. This is going to be another month where I basically did not work on the game. This is because of two reasons. Reason one is I'm busy getting my music on streaming platforms. The process to getting it on streaming platforms isn't too difficult. It's just that I'm reworking some songs and I'm even remaking some tracks. Like I've probably remade like 8 or so tracks in album 2 and 3 together. So yeah. So constant remastering. I'm finally happy with album 2. So album 1 is already out on Spotify. You can go to my... I've uploaded the full album, I think 2 days ago. So, I mean, this will probably upload a day later. So 3 days ago, you can probably find the full album, and there is a link in the description to the Spotify album if you want to listen to it via Spotify. It's also on Apple Music and like Tidal and stuff, but I don't care. So if you just Google Chrono Noir, my artist name, that's now my artist name, then you will find it. The second reason why I didn't really work a lot this month was because I was busy getting my motorcycle license. It was the first of 2 practical exams. My theory I also passed. It's like that, but theory is... It's not that it's easy. Theory is also pretty difficult. The difficult thing about theory is... No, there's nothing difficult. Yeah, the theory itself is difficult, but what I'm saying is the process of getting a theory exam is easy. Like you can get a theory exam within a week and it only costs you like 40 euros, which obviously sucks to lose if you fail, but it's not really... I mean, I'm at the point where 40 euros is, I mean, not pocket change for me, but it's like, if 40 euros disappeared from my bank account, like, today, I wouldn't notice. So it's like, whatever. I know there are a lot of people who would love to be in that position where they could miss 40 euros and not know, but yeah, that's the privilege of having an engineering job. So yeah, that's part 1 of the motorcycle license. For the next month, I'm basically off. So that was so there are 2 parts of motorcycle license here in the Netherlands. Is your vehicle proficiency exam and then your traffic participation exam. Traffic participation exam is basically you go on the road, and the vehicle proficiency exam is you just stay in the parking lot and you have to do like certain maneuvers and tests. I passed. I wasn't very happy with how I passed. Like I should have just nailed every single test. I'm not going to go exactly into what I did wrong because if you don't know anything about motorcycles, you don't know why it's difficult and what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, I passed. I wish I did better. I was kind of disappointed in myself. Like that's just the person I am. Like even if I pass an exam, but if I feel like I had a bad grade, I'm just not happy. Like if I usually go into an exam with like, all right, I'm barely gonna pass this. And if I barely pass this, I'm happy. If I go into an exam and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna nail this, and then I barely pass it, I'm not gonna be happy. And that's basically what happened with the... It wasn't a barely pass, like I had still some room of error remaining to still pass, but whatever. I passed vehicle proficiency. I've already been on the road. The instructor actually made a mistake, and he planned it way too early, so we basically had like 1 to 2 hours of time free. And instead of like sending us... I don't know, it's in the mall. So then it's to the mall, like, alright, just go back 2 hours later. We just got basically 2 hours of free practice on the road, which was just fantastic. So very nice job by the instructor. Yeah, driving a motorcycle on the road, it was actually not that scary. But the reason why it wasn't scary was because I was basically completely stressed about my exam. That's literally the reason. I was so stressed. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the highway between massive lorries, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I have an exam soon. No, probably the most daunting thing about driving a motorcycle is the wind when you get on the highway. Like, my god, the amount of wind you get in your chest. It's like, jeez. I mean, it's like 100 km/h wind. Like, if you have 100 km/h on the wind and you go to the beach, like, full force on the wind, like, that's what it is on a motorcycle. So yeah, I'm gonna get a motorcycle with a windscreen, so you at least don't get completely blasted by the wind. Also, your helmet is like, I shouldn't talk too much about motorcycles, but if you like try and look around, the wind like pushes your helmet. I'm probably gonna have like Max Verstappen's neck when I start motorcycle riding. If you don't know what it's not fun when you have to explain a joke. Yeah, I'm not gonna explain through you. If you know Formula 1, you know what I mean with Formula 1 drivers and their necks, why they got massive necks. But yeah. What else is interesting to talk about? So, I think I already said that I'm basically off for a month not from work unfortunately, but for motorcycle practice. That's because my instructor is fully booked. He's fully booked on his road participation practice. So I have my first practice session in November. So yeah, since I'm also pretty much done with the albums, like all of the reworks are almost already done, I will most likely have time again to work on the game. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna say, because then otherwise it's just pointless rambling, stretching out the video length. I can talk about like 2 minor things that I forgot to talk about last time. So I changed the font. So the font that I use is like a free-to-use sci-fi font. See my arrow, my pointer right here. The O in like armor here, that O used to have a line, a horizontal line that's through the O, and I absolutely despise that look, because usually a stripe through a circle means 0, as you can see in armor 0 and health 100. A stripe through a 0, that's how you differentiate an O from a 0. So yeah, the armor in this font. So I had to actually like learn how to edit fonts. So I edited the font. I can actually grab the oppressor since that has a whole bunch of O's in it. There. That's 2. It's 2. It's 2. It's 1 more than armor. So 2 more. No, 2 more O's. 1 more O. So yeah, and now it looks just way better. I actually already did that with the. So if I go back to the main menu. Button. Okay, if I go back to the menu, I did already do it, getting that stripe out of the O. I already did that in the title. But I did that like post. So basically I took the font, I 3D rendered the font, and then in the 3D render I cut out that horizontal line, and now I've also cut it out in the actual font. So yeah, that was one change I made. Another change I made is, you could have seen it maybe very shortly, is maybe if I go to secondary development, because I've like been on there. The loading screen has also changed. I finally have a new loading screen. Okay, it went super fast because I loaded the same map like a dummy. Yeah, that's the new loading. Okay, the audio crackled for a bit, so that was probably because it was thinking very hard. And that's pretty much it. There are also like a whole bunch of bug fixes I didn't talk about, but I'm not going to talk about bug fixes. So yeah, hopefully next month I've actually new stuff to share. These devlogs sometimes do become just live updates, but I will always keep making them. I will never skip a month of devlog, because it's just important to be reminded of myself, is that basically I can tell you guys, the moment I stop making monthly devlogs, that's when the trouble starts. Like if I stop making monthly devlog, that means that the game is in serious trouble of not getting finished. But as long as I make these, I will remind myself to work on the game. And I do want to work on it. Like, I mean, I think about working on it all the time. It's thinking about being productive. It's like that meme, you know, the meme with the little girl that's like drawing, and then in the next panel she's crying. That's me. Every single day, that's me. I think about being productive. I think about, okay, today I'm gonna work on the game. I'm gonna be drawing. I'm gonna be music, and then it's gonna be like. Usually I do at least one of these things. Like for the last few weeks, it has mostly been I've done a bit of music. Okay, I'm good. At least I did something today, and it's like, and then I cry. It's like, oh, I didn't do anything else.